Number 6, Alice Hughes. Number 8, Ellie Dobson. Number 9, Jess Russo. Number 10, Kath Smith. Number 11, Drew Green. Number 14, Amy Woodruff. Number 20, Darcy Green. And number 22, Ellie White. Your subs today are number 7, Sarah Danby. And a return to the squad for number 15, Paige Williams. Number 21, Sian Gabriel Keating. The referee today is Lee Hurst, who is assisted by Peter Beats and Thomas Holloway. Very well across the field, Chorley and Leeds United.
Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage. Leeds United women in action today at the Banners Apprentice Stadium in what is their final home game of the season. Summerwood side coming to this on the back of a 2-0 league win over Stockport County. Really hard-working performance. They can still finish above Chorley in third, but need to win today, and then results go in their favour in the final round of fixture on the 27th of this month. And Leeds will hope that their rather consistent home form runs true again today as the two teams just go through their pre-match handshakes, and as always a chance for amateur teams to be celebrated as well and experience the occasion. So for Leeds United Women's Summerwood's team, it is Carrie Simpson, Shauna Legg, Lucy Turner, Alice Hughes, Ellie Dobson, Jess Russo, Kath Smith, Drew Green, Amy Woodruff, Darcy Green and Ellie White. On the bench for Summerwood is Sarah Danby, Paige Williams and Sian Gabriel Keating. As for today's visitors, Chorley, they go with Finch, then Parish, Searson, Cook, Wood and Parker, Newhouse, Worthington, Unsworth, Stanhope and Binks. On the bench for Carmelo Ruggieri is Derbyshire Wade, Richie Gunn and Coward. So it is a chance for what would be a lively bit of revenge for Chorley, because Leeds ran out 3-2 winners in the last game of Corker in November. Chubble Keating getting 2, Drew Green getting the other. And since then, Chorley really have kicked on. They sit third, unbeaten in 6 in the league. They're only 5 points off the top, but it's their home form that's been the catalyst for that. They've scored 4 in 2 of their last 3, but there's no winning 4 on the road, and they haven't scored in their last 2 games away from home either. But Leeds winning 6 of their last 8 at home, kept 2 clean sheets on the bounce, and let's hope for another successful day at the office. Myself, Tom Hill and Bridie Hannon will bring you all the action today. And Bridie, it's a chance, obviously, when you play your final home game, there's an air of determination about it. You want to bow out in style. Leeds know a title isn't beckoning, but you have to play what's in front of you, and determination would be to try and finish as high as possible in the table, top 3 if possible, certainly above Huddersfield into the top 4, and they have to win today to do that.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to get another 3 points today. Last time out we beat Stockport 2-0, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of consistency over the next couple of games. You know, their last game they drew against Huddersfield, so they're going to want to get back to winning ways. But it's always been a really, really close game against these two. And Chorley have recruited well this season. They've always been kind of a middle of the table, bottom of the table kind of team. So, you know, to be where they are in the league is a very, very successful season for them. And like I said, I can't remember the last time that they finished above us. So it's going to be a tough game, you know, regardless, but it's a lovely day at Garforth. The fans will be there in the numbers. Hopefully they'll get behind the team today. Pitch is looking well, so yeah, hopefully we can get back to winning again today. Yeah,
a bit of confusion there. The referee, I think, was alerted by Megan Searson that they wanted to swap ends with winning the toss, but then changed their mind at the last second. So officials go through their final checks, and we should be good to go in a few seconds' time. So Leeds' players just gathering together for one final huddle. It will be the kick-off with Jess Russo.
Yeah, Jess will be looking to add to her tally today. I watched the game in the County Cup last week, I believe it was, and she got a hat-trick, one of which was a penalty for a third. So obviously she's suffered with injuries this year as well, so it was really nice for her and the team to get back to scoring. But yeah, the girls are right behind her, and obviously she's a fantastic player for us.
Yeah, so Russo gets the game underway. A few early touches for Leeds at the back. They have had, with a rejig at the back, put leg to right back. She's played through the middle predominantly this season of defence, but not to be today. As in midfield, the ball just won't sit for White. It will bounce into midfield and be scooped away by Unsworth. Getting the head to the ball was Newhouse, beating leg to it, and a ball in behind will allow Parker to chase this down, and she's under pressure from Hughes, who will get a toe to the ball. Slightly takes part of the player, but it's enough of a challenge from Hughes to concede a corner. But at one point it looked a bit more dangerous than that, Brady. Yeah,
it was good covering by Alice there, and you know that's her job as that holding midfielder to protect the back four, and that's what she did. Obviously we gave away a corner there, but hopefully the girls can get organised nice and early and defend this set piece. A couple of danger plays in there. Nicola Worthington, the number 12. She's on 7 goals this season, so hopefully we can nullify her threat today.
Teasing delivery. Simpson comes, gets a slight hand to the ball, good enough to clear it out for another attack, which Wood will scoop it wide, and a heavy touch coming in from Stanhope. And just see Simpson here. She just at the very last second, a slight touch as well from a Chorley player, so the two of them together combining. Simpson though seemed to have it under a watchful eye right from the second it left the boot the boot of the Chorley player, as Dobson, via a deflection, wins Leeds a throw. Good header from Woodruff, goes over the top of the fullback, which was Binks, who's now nearest to this ball, taking his throw in. It flicks it on looking for Russo, but it's just a easy enough situation here, and Chorley will hope that was going to bounce the right side of the corner flag for them, but it did not, so they've got a throw-in to deal with. Leeds could pen them in here. Yeah,
I think it's the first time, isn't it, within the first 3 minutes that we've been able to get bodies kind of forward and up the pitch and get the defence out and the midfield out. Hopefully we can put a bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, the wind certainly playing a part there as Hughes floats it out towards the wing which leg is occupying. Good turn, and then an equally good shot coming in, but it's a relatively comfortable save for the goalkeeper Finch. Still though for Leeds, working opportunities pretty quickly, which is a good sign. Darcy Green getting her foot on the ball. Turner's got to be quick, and she is. Prods it looking for Russo, but nobody really for either side took control of the situation. Worthington feeds it forward. Now into White. Made life very awkward for herself, but great feat to do so. That was the hardest thing to do. She could have passed it sideways and made it really easy. Tried the turn and got a free kick out of it.
Yeah, she's good enough to do those kind of things. I would certainly not even try to do anything like that. But yeah, just going back to the shot there, it's going to take a little bit more than that to beat Molly Finch. She's a very, very good goalkeeper. Still young, but I think she's a big part of the reason why Chorley have been so successful this season.
Into the feet of Drew Green, who will try and bounce off the defender, just runs away, and it often does at the Balance Apprentice Stadium. If that touch isn't sharp, bit of a slope on the pitch, it can get away from players. Said it last week as well, once the weather dries up a little bit, the ball zips around the surface as well as White goes into Smith, trying to turn it forward for Russo, intercepted. Chorley as well struggling with that first touch as they eventually play it wide with Worthington, this time to Parrish. She'll turn inside Drew Green, but only run into Russo, who goes and looks for White. The dummy was intended for Smith. Now Smith gets to the second bite of the cherry, and again they're claiming a handballer here against the Leeds. Number 10, the keeper spills possession. Smith will tap it in. Well, the referee didn't give the handball, much to Chorley's disgust. Cass Smith doesn't care. She was brave, committed, and got the rub of the green. The goalkeeper, defender, I think everyone expecting in Chorley colours that the referee would give the free kick. Nothing comes of it, and it's a smart finish. Keeper committed. Can't miss from there, but she took it on. And it's all about sheer hard work to give Leeds United the lead.
Yeah, I must admit, Tom, I normally jump up and kind of shout and ball when a Leeds goal goes in, but I was sure that the referee was going to pull that back, but he didn't. So yeah, 1-0 to us within the first few minutes. But you know, credit to Kath Smith there; she didn't give up, and Chorley will feel a little bit hard done by. But poor defending, just not clearing the lines, and you know, keeper not quick enough out on that occasion. But yeah, just kind of came against the run of play. I think it shocked everybody then.
White puts the block in. Chorley work a quick 1-2, or so they try to. Russo gets to it. Leg on the second attack. She goes to ground. There's no appeal from her for a free kick, so must have been pretty committed. It's on the edge of the box as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tom, but it's interesting today. The team have set up slightly different in terms of the personnel. We normally used to see Amy Woodruff quite high up the pitch, but she's further back today, and you know, be interesting to see how Kath Smith gets on. She scores goals, but a lot of the time it's from the penalty spot, so she'll be pleased with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, just really gutsy play to get Leeds putting Chorley under pressure. Throwing taken by Darcy Green out towards Dobson. Bit of a scrap between the two sets of players, and Leeds will get their throw in. Out it goes to Smith. Again, that awkward bounce. Again, often hard for players because so often it does stick, and Smith thought one more bounce it would be suffice to get behind the defender, but once she decided that, it was soon away from trouble and behind for a goal kick. Hughes pokes the ball wide to Drew Green, who spins away, tries to feed it into Woodruff, offside, immediately signalled by the linesman. On the far side, a very early call, pretty convincing, no complaints from Woodruff, but again Leeds are playing quite a quick brand of football. There's a desire to get the ball on the deck, again because of that surface being so springy, shall we say. There's not, surely not a desire to go long over the top, because you know it's not going to stay where you want it to go, but Leeds have had a decent start here.
Yeah, the girls are used to this pitch, aren't they? I think a lot of other teams, they tend to struggle when they come here, and this is why it's been such a fortress for us over the last few seasons. But no, like I said, great start from the girls. They'll be pleased that they're 1-0 up against a very good team this season. Like I said, they have recruited well. They're not used to being in this position this season, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they react to going a goal down.
Dobson puts plenty on that, and far too much for White to chase and receive possession, so out for a throw, nearly 9 minutes gone. Smith to Russo, and now into Woodruff. Drew Green trying to peel away, ball intercepted by Parrish, gets her arms out of the way, was trying to play it forward to Worthington. Another player got in the way of it, Russo. Woodruff dives in the way of the clearance from Searson. All got very scrappy. Chorley survive. The free puts
really
advantage.
At the back, don't they?
Yeah, now they've got some numbers on the attack on the front foot and are trying to exploit Leeds defensively. Ball played a little bit too wide there from Parker when looking for Wood, and chance goes begging, but yeah, looking exposed at the back, and all of a sudden a couple of passes later they had Leeds caught cold on the front foot.
Yeah, but I think it's credit to Leeds. I think, yes, they do look a little bit shaky, but the girls are just not giving them a moment, whether that be Jess Russo in the face or Kath Smith or Amy Woodruff. You know, that they're not able to clear the lines because they've just not got the space to do so. The girls are pressing really, really well.
Ball intercepted by White, doesn't get the bounce. It fell straight back to Worthington. Here it's Searson looking for an avenue to play it forward. Same can be said of Binks, who tried to make the run for her teammates with her arms, try to direct the traffic. All the way back to Finch now from Chorley. Put into defence for Cook. Well intercepted by Darcy Green. Woodruff, great chest control, now rolls it left, just puts too much on it for Smith, and it is one of the most unforgiving pitches in this league there. You overplay any pass, you don't see it again.
No.
Makes life very tough. If you're not at it, well, if you're not at it, you will be found out.
Yeah, we're a footballing team and we do like to play into feet. I think there's a time and a place, isn't there, to go along and hit the spaces, but you know, we're a good footballing team, and that's how we're going to beat this team today, by hopefully playing good football.
Binks with the throw. She was looking for Newhouse, just couldn't find her intended target. Leeds get the throw, have Woodruff and Smith down the line. Hughes turns it inside. Darcy Green now looking for White. Good first touch, gets her away from her marker. Comes back for a second attempt there, Binks, and concedes the throw.
seem to be a lot of bodies around this left-hand side. All the play seems to be going for Leeds, especially down this left-hand side. There's loads of space over that right-hand side, so if we can try and turn out and go the other way and use the pitch, then I think that would play into our advantage.
Yeah, free kick given against Leeds, although that was a contentious call. 12.5 minutes gone. If you're just joining us, 6 minutes in, Smith firing into the near post with pretty much a free goal because of a mistake from Finch after a contentious handball call in which Chorley believed the referee should have penalised Smith. Continue to run on and then score. Woodruff, good trickery to get away. That ball had not gone. Just about kept in. Leeds appealing that they've just gone out astray. Not the case. Stanhope keeps it alive. Into the feet now of number 14, Unsworth, who thought she'd turned away from traffic, could only turn straight back into it. As Turner gives Russo something to chase at the other end of the pitch. Heavy touch coming in from the number 5, Cook. Just bounces Russo away from trouble. Now Cook plays it forward. You can see the wind picking up a little bit as it helps the ball hang in the air. Dobson to Turner. The two centre-backs combining as Simpson decides to play safe and go long. Searson keeps it, meets it head on. Dobson heads clear. Smith lets it bounce and it'll be out for a throw.
I think apart from the set piece, the had carry's not really been tested in the Leeds goal, so I'm sure she'll be happy about that.
Yeah, it's a decent start for Leeds defensively. Haven't had too many questions to answer. Dobson goes wide. Asks Leg to chase this down, which he plays into Drew Green, who tried to return the favour. Couldn't do so with the outside of the boot pass. Awkward for Binks. Keeper comes out. There's a real panic moment for them. Woodruff looks skywards in frustration because she knew that there was a mistake. Neither defender or keeper look wholly convincing. And that's twice now with the ball back. There's been a bit of a mess up. First time Leeds scored, second time not too far away from having a shot there, Woodruff.
Yeah, they were let off then, Charlie. It's one of those as a defender, you have to communicate with your goalkeeper. One of you has to take ownership, whether that be your goalkeeper kind of just boots it out into Rose head or your defender. You know, one of the two, you've got to communicate.
Now on the attack here, Stanhope puts it across Simpson. Awkward sort of technique, diving with the feet to try and make sure that Chorley didn't score. White had to get it clear and does. And now Drew Green uses her body well. And now she's running three. Can maybe cut it back. She can. Beautiful ball to Russo. Russo taps in. And Chorley appeal for offside. And the appeals are heard. Really big moment in this game. Such a well-worked goal. So unselfish from Drew Green to put it on a plate to Russo. Attack versus attack, pretty much. I mean, Simpson is lucky. She got enough of a touch to it, so it worked. But the ability then for Leeds to counter-attack Bridie and get on their own way. Drew Green again, and it's just a cutback. She could have gone on her own. Russo tried to hold the line. Sadly, she didn't. But what a response that would have been. Yeah,
I mean, Drew Green on that right-hand side, she had so much work to do. But she just used her pace really well, passed the ball almost to herself in the space and then ran onto it. And like you say, she could have had a shot, but unselfishly, there were two players queuing up in the box there to just tap it in. And that's just so unfortunate. It was difficult to see from this angle, so I can't say if it was or it wasn't, but well-worked goal either way.
Yeah, Turner to Smith, who just sends it into the stands for another throw.
And it's still all to play for, isn't it, for that promotion spot? You look at Cheadle and Middlesbrough, both on 45 points, and Chorley sat in third on 40 points. Just 5 points, I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, of course, Leeds trying to overhaul Chorley as well. You never know if Chorley can't on the last day achieve anything. No, Stockton would feel they could get a result against them, and Leeds, if they win out, they play York in their last game. It's Turner's ball back to Simpson. So yeah, Leeds will have a top 4 spot certainly in their mind. probably would say the least they should be looking for when they were leading at Christmas. Hughes into Woodruff, tries to just make life awkward. Smith will chase this down. It's really awkward. Smith goes for it first time, always at full stretch, never under full control, and it is behind for a goal kick. 17.5 minutes though. This unorthodox style, Chorley can't seem to get to grips with it.
That would have been a good goal by Kath Smith had that gone in, but yeah, she's predominantly right-footed, so I would have been quite shocked if that had have been top bins. But no, like what you said, Leeds probably had the best spell towards the end of October, early December. They had 4 wins on the bounce, top of the league. Simon Wood, manager of the month, I believe it was, around about December time. But then after that, we had 3 losses on the bounce, and kind of like promotional dream was almost over, wasn't it, by kind of January, going into Feb. And, you know, even this month, 2 losses against Barnsley and Huddersfield. So it's just, you know, we're building now for next year, and, you know, we've got to get that consistency. We can't have 3 or 4 wins on the bounce followed by 3 or 4 losses. So, you know, there's some work to do, but, you know, like I mentioned numerous times, you know, it's a new squad, is this, relatively new manager and new squad, and everyone's just learning and gelling together.
Awkward for Finch, who judges the flight of the ball well. Rolls it out to CSN, the captain, looking for an avenue out wide. Puts too much on it over the head of Stanhope, so easy throw in for Leeds to win in the hands of Darcy Green. Turn from Smith, equally good ball to Russo. Again, handball appeals as she looks inside for Woodruff, doesn't pick out the target.
It would have been harsh, that hands were kind of in her body, wasn't it?
Smith tried to play it safe and went backwards, but doesn't realise how many players that Chorley had up the pitch. Leg nips in, clears away and plays for safety, which is probably the wise thing to do in the situation. 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, I've been a little bit disappointed with Chorley so far in this first 19, 20 minutes. I did expect them to be a bit more on the front foot, a bit more attacking, a bit more playing in our half, but I mean, obviously I'm a Leeds fan, so that doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think they don't seem to have turned up to the races just yet, and they certainly don't look like a team who were third and who have been almost pushing for promotion.
There's a discrepancy in where the referee and Isabel Binks thinks this throw-in should be taken from. Third time lucky here, surely. Binks does play it safe back. Now Searson has it with Russo breathing down the neck. Smith inside to Hughes. Drew Green is trying to get away. Pass doesn't go that way, and now it does from Turner. Drew Green flicks it on looking for Russo. Returns the pass. Nice work from Leeds, unlucky. Drew Green will go and win it back. Now, can she get it towards Woodruff? She at least will attempt to do so. Just doesn't have the curl on the ball. That's the 2nd time in a row now that Drew Green has got the better of her marker. And even when you think she's beat, she comes back again for the ball. And it's that pace, determination. They've added so much quality to the team this year, the Green sisters, and that was unlucky from Drew Green.
Yeah, it was a nice little 1-2, wasn't it? Really well worked, and like you say, at one point it looked like she'd lost it, but she just didn't give up, and again, sloppy defending from Chorley.
Leg in towards Hughes. Woodruff out to Drew Green, who will play it early. Up towards Russo, who's easily beaten in the air. Drew Green pokes it forward. It's all got very scrappy in the middle of the park. Chorley trying to change that with a bit of quality and finesse. Binks gets hold of the ball and goes back into Searson. Looks for an avenue and rolls it instead to defender Cook alongside her at centre half. Bit of room to manoeuvre for Cook, referee having to adjust the feet as well. First time that Chorley have actually had possession and kept it pretty simple at the back. Now they go over the top looking for the running behind. Dobson gets ahead to it. Cut back. Simpson comes off a line. Easy catch to block Saffron Newhouse's cross. And easily dealt with at the back by Leeds United.
I'm not sure if that was a shot or a cross by Saffron Newhouse, but she's certainly a player to watch. I believe she's on about 10 goals so far this season, so definitely one to keep an eye on. But like I said, attacking wise, they don't really seem to have threatened us so far. The defenders, they were almost looking for an opening, then they were throwing their arms up in frustration as if to say, where's my runners coming from, where can I pass? But like you say, they were patient and waited for that ball to come. But obviously I don't think Ellie Dobson meant to do that. I think she wanted to get a bit more distance on that, but fortunately it was ended up in the hands of Carrie Simpson.
Yeah, Parish trying to escape with a simple ball down the line, but it's overhit. Leeds can gather. Woodruff misjudges the flight of the ball as Worthington picks up the pieces. Searson pings it into midfield. It's a misplaced pass. Leg will intercept it. Now into Woodruff. She goes back. No real safe ball on the pitch, such as the way that these two teams are set up. There's always a forward nearby just in case, as Hughes mops up into Darcy Green, runs away from trouble, but she does have Stanhope all the way over her left shoulder, putting her under pressure. She relieves that with a searching ball out to Drew Green, who, with a thumbs up, appreciates the idea as it goes out of play for a throw.
I don't mind that kind of ball, Tom. I think she was under a lot of pressure there, and at one point I thought, is the Chorley player going to nip in and get it and put us under pressure? But she played a percentage ball and got it into the space. It just allows Leeds just to get back into position.
Awkward bounce for White. Tries to dig in, and she has done so. Wants the 1-2 with Smith. Just behind her. It may fall for a Leeds shirt. It won't, unfortunately. Keeper had that in the hands, was outstretched. Russo tried to be a little bit cheeky, and the officials pull her up for it. Free kick to Chorley.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that pass was meant for Ellie White, but Jess Russo was quick off the mark and thought, you know what, I'll go for it anyway.
Throw-in goes Leeds' way. Dobson beaten to the ball there by the onrushing number 11, who's turned inside. Now the shot comes in. Dobson gets back. Simpson gets a hand to it as well. It was Newhouse. It appeared that Dobson had read the play pretty well first time around, but it just seemed to sit nicely for Newhouse, who capitalised.
Yeah, I think
and
it
just
was
sort of
initially
trudged forward, really.
Yeah, it was initially quite poor defending, I think, but Lucy did really well to get across, and then when Saffron Newhouse beat Lucy Turner, then Ellie Dobson really did well to get back and cover, and then obviously Carrie Simpson with the vital save.
Chorley pans that piece to the edge of the box. Woodruff reads it. Deflection goes against Leeds, much to their surprise. Binks comes across to take the throw-in, left by Molly Wood. Leg has to dig in again there. Just thought she got away from Stanhope, but had to put the challenge in, so up comes Isabel Parish for the throw-in.
Yeah, I talked about at the start, Tom, about them Chorley recruiting well. One player to keep an eye out for is Nicola Worthington, number 12. Played in Tier 3 with Burnley and also the Championship with Blackburn. She seems to make it all tick for them. And I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why maybe Amy Woodruff's a little bit deeper today, just from a physical perspective. But yeah, you can see already when she's on the ball, she's really, really comfortable and she's strong.
Yeah, Chorley midfielder sitting in here to try and stop the Leeds pass. And Unsworth flicks it on, looking for Newhouse. Woodruff underneath it clears. Russo. Finch being told to come by the Chorley defence. Should really be going out for a goal kick, and it will do. And again, we said it earlier, any pass that's overhit, it will be straight out of play. In which Finch is delighted for a routine goal kick here. Searson to Unsworth. Woodruff putting pressure on Cook, and then Finch makes a mistake, so Chorley certainly defensively haven't looked too solid, a lot of errors, concentration. She's giving the ball away there to Leeds.
Yeah, I think she's not great with her feet, the goalkeeper. No, she's a good shot stopper. I've seen him in action, but with the feet, she definitely looks shaky.
Rush clearance. Darcy Green lets it bounce to win yet another throw. It goes to Smith. Binks turns it away twice. Eventually hooked clear by Chorley out towards Newhouse. Dobson gets to it, reads it the ball a little better. She's only a fraction away from picking out White. It'll ricochet to Russo. Dobson gets back on the ball. She'll try a shot to try and catch everybody off guard, but doesn't get the connection right. 28 minutes gone, Leeds 1, Chorley 0, but I'd say Salmon would still be pretty pleased overall.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, if we can keep it like this till half time, we'll be more than happy with that, Tom, definitely.
Headed away by Hughes. Darcy Green looking for Russo. Eventually Smith turns it towards the Leeds number 9. Binks back to Searson. Leeds really impressing on the front foot defensively. Smith picks out Russo, shuts across the box. Only Drew Green for company. Tries to dig out the cross and hitting it into the floor wasn't going to help her cause. She's got her bearings wrong. Unfortunate that for Leeds. Not often the case that Jess Russo's delivery isn't on the point.
Yeah, it was a great first touch, wasn't it?
Running into trouble. Woodruff picked the pocket. Now it's going to be picked up by Smith. Heavy first touch makes life even harder for her, but she bounces off the challenge. Both players swinging for the ball. It will be a throw, as Binks is going to have a word with the referee who's not happy here, which I would suggest at dissent. The Chorley players getting frustrated.
Yeah, I think they can't seem to deal with Leeds United's press. It's as simple as that. And as soon as you're putting a bit of pressure on them, they're just hacking at the ball with no real purpose or conviction. They're not keeping the ball. They're kicking it out for corners and throw-ins. And I think we need to be capitalising on this. And like what you mentioned a second ago, Jess Russo, really good first touch to take it out of her feet and give herself a yard, but then really poor cross into the box, and we've got bodies in there. So it's those kind of moments that we've got to capitalise on.
Looks clear, picked up by Hughes brilliantly well. Keeps it nice and safe as she goes out to Darcy Green. To the byline she goes, gets her technique wrong. We've all been there. Frustration as well when there's opportunities. You can see the players building up. White was coming in as an extra forward. The quicker she moves on though and just gets her head down, it happens.
She might want to see a replay of that one. It does look quite windy at Garforth Town there. You can see the trees. I wonder if that's playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as strong as it has been in previous weeks, but it is certainly a big issue for both sets of players. Almost like two separate games in one, really. I mean, it's quite exposed. We've seen a couple of games this year when it has played its part. Done the same with the 21s at Thorpe Arch, where that's open and exposed, and you have two totally different games in each 45 minutes. As Smith tries to be a bit clever and go for distance, of course, with the bounce and the awkward of the wind. If it's on target, you never know. Of course, Finch been a little bit loose in possession. She had that spill earlier when she thought it was off, you know, a handball. She'll blame the handball, but of course, concentration for a keeper is so important. You can see why a couple of the players are trying things. They think, well, she spills it again, I've got a teammate rushing through.
Absolutely, we've seen the frailties, and that's what it's about. In that first kind of 5-10 minutes, it's about sussing out your opposition and sussing out the player who you're marking and seeing what foot they are and things like that. And I think Leeds have quickly found out the goalkeeper's frailties.
Yeah, good work from Dobson. Smith racing back. Woodruff's going to get to the pass and now will make her way down the line. Attempted to cut it back and well blocked away by Chorley. It's going to bounce, but that was offside. I wonder why Molly Wood seemed to be away in behind the defenders. The issue is she'd set off too early.
Had a heart in mouth moment.
Yeah,
then it looked
like
bounced
it was perfect for her.
Yeah, it was a good ball. I thought initially it was a hit and hope, but then I realised it was actually a really good pass. But Ellie Dobson did really, really well there, and had it been allowed to have go on, she made a really important touch there. So yeah, good defending.
Awkward for Turner to deal with, but she has done so. Rolls it back to Simpson.
I was going to say Simpson had a bit more time than she maybe thought then, but it was a good kick, and I think we saw a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, an assist from Carrie Simpson, so she knows that she's got that in her locker.
Heavy landing from Cook in defence, and Searson's telling the goalkeeper to come again. She hasn't. Drew Green's going to try and get there. The keeper comes, doesn't get the required touch on the ball, and again they're arguing amongst themselves who should come for it. I mean, Searson is very early suggesting to the keeper she should come for this ball. There's the shout.
No, in my opinion, I think the keeper's positioning was fine then. I think Megan Searson had got herself out of position, to be honest with you, and I think she's thinking, oh, I've been beat, I want my keeper now to come and save me. But I think it was Ellie Cook that was coming across there, and she went to go head it, but then almost ducked at the last second, so I'm not sure if she heard a shout from a keeper then. But again, they're just all over the place at the back.
Searson back to Finch. Doesn't get the clearance right. It's into Russo. Keeper's given a mistake away. There's Woodruff. Keeper makes amends with the hands. A bit more consistent through the air. Normal shot stopping, but it would have been a goalkeeper error, which would have given Leeds a second goal there. Now Chorley trying to kick on and rebuild. Played wide by Worthington to Parrish. Down the line, trying to flick it forward is Wood, but Turner double checking, does very well there. Lucy Turner looked like she was resigned having to clear it out for a throw and give Chorley the ball back. Was very crafty to hit it off the legs of Wood and out for a throw. You'd have been proud of that, Brady. Centre half play.
Say, yeah, very proud of that.
Down the line, Russo. Not much choice to chase after that, but never going to get close to it, as bowled out by Finch immediately towards Binks.
I think obviously their defence and goalkeepers definitely been the busier of the two sides, but I think we've got to be more clinical. I think, yes, we had one that was called offside, but I think we've had 2 or 3 really good chances where we could have put this game to bed.
Smith beaten to it by Binks, picked up by Darcy Green, but the under-hit pass helps Chorley out as she races back there to cover. Will be another throw-in for Leeds. There are about 10 minutes left of this first half. Smith wanted a free kick, gets it, much to Charlie's surprise. He was off the ball, Binks. Guilty of a push in the back, so Dobson moves out of the way. It will be Smith's delivery. So with the wind behind, it can't be too powerful because it can only go one way at the Bannister Prentice Stadium. Smith tries to go near post to Russo, does so successfully. Now Binks trying not to dive in. Russo will always try and go onto the left foot like she has. Deflection behind for a corner kick to Leeds.
Yeah, good play by Jess Russo, and cheeky little ball in by Kath Smith there. Good defending.
Yeah, corner to come from the left edge of the pitch. Would be normally Ellie Wyatt. I think it is the 22 that's racing across to go and get the ball. She very successfully the last time Leeds played corners with both feet, opposite flanks, that you would not be able to tell which foot she was. Not seeing that at any level really. She pings the ball in near post, tries to get the deflection, she gets it. It will be another corner. Another dangerous ball in, Woodruff this time. There's a touch in its way. It'll be another corner. Leeds United knocking on the door here. Woodruff's come short in case there's an option. Chorley cover that. So Ellie White again, third set piece in a row for Leeds.
Yeah, both seem to have gone near post, don't they? But yeah, we didn't really have any bodies in the near post.
This time to the edge of the 6-yard box. Smith scrapping away. He's come out towards Dobson. Woodruff will have a go at it, but the referee's blown for a free kick fall through from Kath Smith on a Chorley defender. 8 minutes left of this first half.
I mean, they've only lost 4 games all season, but judging by how they've defended in this first half, I'm quite shocked at that. And ironically, they tend to do worse against the teams in and around them, Middlesbrough, Cheadle, etc. But the other loss that they had was against Fylde, which is who we obviously got beat against, and Fylde have only won 3 games all season. And obviously, like I said, against these 2 good sides overall, but I don't think Chorley are really at the races today, and I think Leeds need to take advantage of this, and hopefully we can do the double on them.
Yeah, as you said earlier, probably should have been more comfortable though on the score sheet. Leeds will hope to make sure that happens before half-time as Binks runs into traffic. Russo back here looking for Woodruff, intercepted by Searson. Heavy pass, Hughes gets there, now White. Leeds on the front foot, out towards Drew Green. Being told to run at the defender, she does that. Parrish doesn't know where the ball is, it'll come back to Drew Green. She's twisting her inside and out, puts it across the box. It won't reach its target of Woodruff. Picked up by Shauna Legg. She has to try and now get the body in the way. Does so successfully. Hughes goes back to Turner. And Leeds will regroup. Turner looking for a searching ball in for Woodruff. Chorley get to it first. Handball appeals rejected by the officials. As Binks goes inside, that time to Worthington. Hughes gets a good challenge in. Leeds have to be careful here, don't give away free kicks. Woodruff, awkward height for her. Scrappy nature seems to suit Chorley in midfield. Worthington again looking for a way through. Plays it down the line, tries to get up there and support her pass. Double deflection, that should be Chorley's throw, and it will be. They're having a bit of a dig though in midfield though.
Yeah, I don't think it is a bit of a midfield scrap, isn't it, in there? But I don't think either teams have really had great spells of possession. It's not been a great footballing half, I would say. Yeah,
Russo, awkward angle, and tried her luck. I think she knew that the defender would expect to turn inside. She just tried her best at the last second to try and get a foot around the ball, not to be. Leeds 1, Chorley 0. Dobson watches that ball go out of play. This will be another Leeds throw-in. Just over 5 minutes left. To Russo, turns it around looking for Woodruff, just a fraction behind her. Leeds get the throw.
For anyone that's interested, Tom, Middlesbrough women are 3-0 up against Doncaster Bells. They're playing at the Riverside Stadium today.
Yeah, so a big win for the team currently in second as the ball is flicked on by Smith. But it goes to Newhouse. White gets in. Newhouse bounces off her though and now can try and make her way forward. Hughes tracking her all the time. I've said it all season long. Alice Hughes, one of the most underrated players in this team. Shauna Legg giving her a huge round of applause. You know, Legg's contribution's been massive this year, but Alice Hughes does all the work you don't want to do as a midfielder. Seems to relish it, enjoy it. She's under pressure there, gets across, wins a free kick, and as a centre-back, you'd be delighted you don't have to do something because both defenders are about to be put into an awkward spot.
Yeah, she's so calm and collected, is Alice. One of the best kind of central midfield players I've certainly played with. And as a centre half, you want to do your tackles and do what you need to do defensively, and then pass it to Alice and let her do the rest. And you know, every now and again she does pop up at some important goals as well. But yeah, she's known for just being in the right place at the right time and just doing the easy pass as well, really.
Worthington towards Binks. Awkward height. It will be a throw. Binks nearly takes the hand of one of the Leeds coaches off. She at the last second checked that. Cass Smith gets the shin pad reapplied, if you can call them that. I know I sound old, but they're not shin pads.
I know there's a bit of a running joke. They literally don't cover a leg at all, do they? And from someone who's broke their leg, it just pains me to see them.
Darcy Green wins the throw for Leeds. Smith wants it early, gets it. Turns away from trouble, deflection off Binks. Nobody really in close proximity knew where that ball had gone. Leeds do get the free kick. Chorley certainly feeling that things are not going their way in this first half. Only the goal to show for it for Leeds, though.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely think we could be 2 or 3 nil up in this first half, and I think that's the message that Simon will be saying at half time, is that actually we probably deserve to be more than 1-0 up, but at this point, you know, it's ours to lose, isn't it? We're in the driving seat, and yeah, overall a decent half.
Nice delivery. Dangerous, keeper spills it, legs there for the tap-in, celebrates and scores as Shauna Legg. Not often a goal scorer for Leeds United women. Right place, right time. Caused herself and the rest of the defence to last minute have a shot. And because of that positioning and because of that just sheer work ethic to never give up, you will now and again get the rub of the green. And yet again, the keeper has spilled the ball. Shauna Legg cannot miss from there. And the celebration tells you how much it means. It's 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's her first goal for Leeds United, isn't it? And you could see how much it meant to her. She scored better goals than that for her former team, but no, she'll be absolutely buzzing with that. But as soon as that ball left Ellie White's foot, it was just crying out for someone to get on the end of it. But again, to be honest, it's kind of come from their error. Goalkeeper, I'm not sure what she's doing there. I thought it looked like an easy enough one to catch, but I'm not a goalkeeping expert. But if you're going to punch it, you have to get some distance on it, and she just completely flapped at it. And Shauna Legg couldn't believe her luck when there was an empty goal practically just in front of her. But, you know, credit to Leeds for getting in those positions, and like I said, makes that team talk a little bit easier for Simon Wood at half time.
Just tries to flick it on and put Leeds' defence under pressure. I mean, again, the game will change. The wind in Leeds' favour first half. They are going to find things a little bit more awkward second. But Chorley certainly haven't covered themselves in glory defensively, dealing with things. Someone's team will look to try and use that blueprint for the second half as Binks heads clear. Too much on it and it will go out of play. Darcy Green to Woodruff. Turns. Still going. Woodruff will win the challenge. Stanhope wins the tackle, but it's behind for a corner, which Ellie White will go across to take. Take it short. Chorley just switching off for a second. Searson comes out. White dribbling into the box. Tried to pick out a white shirt. There's too many red Chorley jerseys in her way. Newhouse and Ellie White fighting for possession. Nobody in the red of Chorley up front, so Turner has free rein to pick the pass into Russo. Drew Green trying to turn it over the head of the defence, just gets her bearings wrong, but look at the work ethic from Drew Green to make amends for a mistake. The speed she showed, which is what you want in a Leeds United player. And down the line she goes to Legg, who's having to use every bit of energy she has to keep this ball alive. I keep saying it every week. The slightest mistake in a pass and that ball, especially on the right wing, is away. And Shauna Legg gave everything she could, but unfortunate for Leeds, but they're working hard, Bridie. There's a lot of effort on show. Yeah,
I mean, she's not slow by any means, is Shauna Legg, so like you say, the pitch is going to play a part in this, but no, I've been really impressed with Drew Green this half. Every time she gets the ball, I feel like something's going to happen, whether it be that she takes a player on and has a shot herself, or takes a player on and crosses the ball in, but she's just very, very clever and tidy with the ball. So yeah, really, really positive first half. I think, you know, taking away the performance, it's about the result, isn't it? And to go 2-0 in at half time, over the moon with that.
Yeah, Leeds are chasing Chorley down. They're 5 points in front of them ahead of kick-off. After that first half display, Leeds will really be hopeful they can cut the gap. Smith's opener, Legs tap in to add a second. Join us soon for second half coverage.
United, number 10, Kath Smith. Goes through for Leeds United, number 2, Chorley.
Welcome back to LUTV's coverage as Taylor Gunn enters the fray. Referee just double checking and counting the players, and at first glance it does appear that perhaps Molly Wood, the number 7, hasn't gone back out there, because she was playing left wing where Stanhope has gone, but now they're going to go for a very ambitious attempt from kick-off. I told you the wind would play its part, and Carrie Simpson, with a bit of catching practice, can just take the sting out of everything for Chorley. I have a bit of respect for that, to be honest. I said it earlier, the difference in football at this stadium when the wind is blowing is light and day, and if that had gone in for Chorley, 1, obviously we'd have been upset, but 2, you'd have had to try and nod and appreciate the audacity to do so. But fingers crossed, Bradley, that's the closest they come to scoring second half.
Yeah, I think they're trying to see if Carrie Simpson's got a mistake in her today, and I don't think she has. But yeah, I mean, the manager will have said, listen, I want you to go out there and try and get an early goal and get back in this game, and maybe that's not what he meant, or maybe he gave that instruction, who knows. But yeah, he's not gonna test Carrie from there.
Down the line to Drew Green. She can't keep it alive. Dobson sort of stabs the head at it just to try and make sure it doesn't go any closer to goal. Still not fully clear. Darcy Green's pass, deflection. Back it goes. It was Wood that was replaced at half-time for Chorley, as Cass Smith nearly tried to break the fence around the Bannister Apprentice Stadium with a thumping clearance. The new ball on that far side. Looking for Gunn with a rare first touch for her, the sub. Woodruff pokes it clear. Cook. Wind it goes to Unsworth. Intercepted by White. She wins, leads a throw. There's a lack of support. Only got one. Referee is not happy with where Ellie White took the throw in from. I think she did probably try and steal a march there by a good few yards. And a couple of minutes into this second half, get to see a pattern forming really, Bridie, on what to expect. I think naturally, because of this, again, the switching halves, we will think it'll be a bit harder for Leeds second half, but there's so much for them to be positive about in that first 45 minutes that there's no reason why they can not go on and get a third and a fourth.
No, I think that what was pleasing in the first half is the pressing, and I think we soon worked out that defensively they were quite poor, panicking quite a lot, not really clearing the lines. And I think, you know, I said I wanted us to be a bit more clinical, and yes, we got that goal just before half time, which was fantastic. But yeah, I think the positive is we're creating lots of chances.
Drew Green picks up Woodruff's forward ball. Woodruff looking back to Drew Green, and again she'll stay onside. Defender commits. Parrish getting in and conceding territory, but gets a deflection off Drew Green, so it will be a Chorley throw. Wellington made her run backwards before Parrish was ready, so it's now towards Gunn, misses her. All the way forward to Stanhope. Hughes across the pitch to Smith. It'll actually go all the way to Darcy Green. Well, words from those two communicating who to go and get it. Drew Green picks up Darcy Green's pass. Now Hughes. Good back heel as well. Drew Green early cross. Awkward for the defender. Not fully convincing out to clear. White tries to knock the leather off the ball. Ends up on her backside as a result. And leg has to be alert. Works the 1-2 with Woodruff. Now on the attack was Leg looking for Russo. Leeds just maybe guilty of playing it a bit too quickly, but you can see the intention. Hughes now puts a lid on things, goes back, keeps it nice and calm. But there's chances there, though.
Yeah, definitely. Much better play in terms of a little bit calmer in possession, and we're trying to find a pass. And yeah, I mean, it was relatively easy defending, but we're getting into those positions and we're trying to play good football.
Russo running against Searson. Goes to ground. Referee will say no free kick. I mean, it has gone out of play. It's a goal kick, so Searson gets the call. Russo still down. It was a fully committed effort. Well, it was a fully committed effort from both. As an ex-defender, you can appreciate the work of the Chorley captain.
Yeah, I mean, Jess has obviously gone down there in some pain, so I'm not sure if she gave her a little elbow or what, but she looked from this angle to use her body quite well. We see it again here. They look like they're both kind of holding each other. It's one of those 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
I don't think there's much in it, is there? Russo isn't a million miles away from getting to it and creating something, as Drew Green tries to do just that. It's intercepted in midfield, that time by Worthington. Now leg into Woodruff, beautiful idea if it had come off, just to try and play it inside. Leg now races back, she gets a nudge for her troubles. Stanhope just leaves one in on her. Referee says no free kick though. Drew Green again gets in. Hughes tries to squeeze it through to Smith, does so. Now tries to pick out Russo. Leeds, Russo running through. Keeper tries to cut back. Smith there for the tap-in. Great goal from Leeds United. Great teamwork, positioning perfect. And another goal for Smith. Second of the afternoon. It's 3-0.
Brilliant play. I think it was that ball there into Kath Smith, and then we wondered what Kath Smith were going to do, and then we didn't know if Jess Russo were going to try and dink the keeper, but it would have been a very, very tough angle. And then we saw Kath there. It's nice to see Kath almost like starting the move and finishing it off, but really well-worked team goal. And yeah, I think we thoroughly deserve that. So yeah, fantastic. 3-0 up after 51 minutes. We'll take that all day long. Yeah,
you made the point there about Russo trying to go for goal. I think, the goal scorer that we had last year, perhaps you could say was often sometimes too selfish. Sometimes and it paid off because she did something there. She just realised the angle isn't amazing, just take the better option. Sometimes maybe players can be guilty of that at this level, but today every time they've had a chance to make a simple square pass, that they've done it.
Yeah, they have the really good goal. That's probably the pick of the bunch.
Yeah, like under pressure here. Stanhope, little nudge in the back, the offside flag goes up. There was certainly no free kick for a foul, so Leeds will take the advantage they get from the official on the far side.
I think they've got a real kind of uphill task now, haven't they, to try and get back in this game. I think, the heads will start to drop at this point, because you think if I'm going to get anything out of this game, we've got to score 4 goals, and that's quite an ask against this Leeds United side.
White trying to control it, misplaces that touch. Worthington pings it off the legs of Hughes. Smith back into Hughes, nice and composed that from Leeds. Drew Green looking for an avenue. Try to turn it forwards for Woodruff. Stanhope gets to the ball. Drew Green racing back. Free kick going against her.
Not sure there were a lot in that, to be honest with you. I can understand Drew's frustration there.
Asking a few questions to the referee, who's happy for the game to go on, so there's a lot of confusion on the bench. Awkward bounce here coming if it gets that far, but not for the interception of Hughes, who makes sure there's no awkward situation for Simpson. Behind it goes for a corner. 3-0 to Leeds it remains.
Yeah, that's it. If in doubt, get it out. I think had she have not headed the ball, then it could have been an awkward bounce then for
Kerry.
Kerry.
You've almost got to, from the firmness in the pitch, you've almost got to, if you're the keeper, come out to try and catch it on the full, even though you're 15 yards off your line.
Getting that first contact, isn't it? You do not want the ball bouncing on there. I think it would have bounced over the net, actually.
Binks, that is a really good corner. Simpson gets a hand to it. Smith gets in. Turner now trying to turn it further away from trouble. She has. Maybe doesn't get the distance she would have wanted, but it's safe, and that's the main thing for her. 55 minutes gone, still Chorley looking to put Leeds under pressure. Gunn with the flick on, likewise Woodruff. Woodruff picks up the ball in midfield, now tries to carry it as far as she can. It's looped in behind to Drew Green, who's got the pace, but Parrish has cut that run off. Drew Green, though, will not give up on this. Just wins the throw, doesn't give them a second to breathe. And she's done that all afternoon. Yeah,
she's been absolutely fantastic today, I think. Probably my player of the match so far, but obviously there's still quite a lot in this. But yeah, we've just, within 1 or 2 passes there, and obviously using the pitch to our advantage, we've just made up so much of the pitch there, so much space, and it just allows the girls to get forward.
Woodruff just trying to maybe be a bit cuter there, try to turn it into the near post. The outside of the foot shot doesn't come off. And we'll try and carry it clear. Heavy pass out wide, and Chorley again just struggling to get from defence to midfield. I think forwards wise, you mentioned Newhouse earlier, but there hasn't been a progression where I think maybe Simon Wood's team, in terms of ability to keep the ball today, you'd be up there one of the performances of the year in terms of going through the gears and making life very simple. It hasn't been too flashy on the eye, but it's been very effective.
No, it's not. And before any game, I always look at the key players, and those are the players that I tend to mention several times in a game, if not more. But I feel like I've hardly mentioned Saffron Newhouse and Nicola Worthington, and that's, it's credit to the Leeds United girls and how they've set up today and how they're playing, and they've been very aggressive. And it's the last home game of the season. They're wearing the shirt with pride today and giving it their all. And it's a great performance and a great result so far if we can keep it at this.
Hughes trying to get the Chorley player under wraps. Smith will clear. It was Parker, the one that was dribbling across the box looking for an avenue to shoot. And again Parker drags it wide though, so it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, she's had a couple of opportunities in the last few minutes, hasn't she? I wonder if she's been told to just play a little bit further forward or kind of take a few more chances now, because at this point they've got, nothing to lose, have they?
Just clears for safety again. Element of Leeds maybe learning from Chorley in the first half when you can't be calm in possession, just clear for touch rather than for back in midfield. As White clears up in the air, Woodruff having to block the sun with a hand to try and find where the header could be. Smith dives in with a braver header of her own. Now Woodruff to Smith, the player on a hat-trick. First touch is heavy, intercepted immediately by Unsworth. Smith will have a second nibble and concede a free kick, which, as Woodruff rightly points out, should be back inside Chorley's half.
I thought she was kicking the ball away, then I thought, oh, Amy, what have you done that for? You're going to get a yellow card, but she was just passing it back to the player.
Turner's header into Drew Green, perfect clearance as well. White's trying to make her way forward, doesn't use her, goes instead to Woodruff, who tries to flick it around the side door towards Russo. White now furthest forward in attack, trying to force a mistake out of Parrish, will at least make her give the ball away. Drew Green into Russo, clip down the back of the ankle. She wants a free kick, referee says nothing in it. And there's a big gap for Chorley to break through, which they have. It's now played in towards Newhouse. Simpson comes out, dives at her feet, touch on it, forces them wide. The tap in coming in from Stanhope, and there is the goal. Leeds just didn't have the numbers, and that's the class Chorley have shown all season. Direct through the heart. It's 3-1, and they will feel it's game on.
I mean, really, it's their first opportunity that I can really see that they've had more or less the full game. But yeah, we were just saying a second ago, we've not really mentioned Newhouse, and there we go. She took it past Carrie, but I thought Carrie had just done enough there just to turn it away. But, credit to Saffron there. She managed to pick out a really, really good cross, and our defence were just not in the right place at the right time then. But decentish goal, but disappointing from our perspective not to keep a clean sheet, because really they've not had any other chances that I can remember in the game.
Yeah, frustration as Parker makes way. She's replaced by Ritchie. So Ella Ritchie is on. The number 9 on the back suggests they've gone all out for the next attacker. Trying to get the ball forward there. Drew Green looking for Russo, nearly finds Woodruff.
They've enjoyed a little bit more possession in the last few minutes. I think half-time probably came at a good time for them, but yeah, I think it just getting that goal, it just does something psychologically to teams. It'll, you know, our girls are going to be really frustrated with that. That could do one or two things, but from their perspective, they're going to have a little bit of belief now that they can hopefully go on to push and get another goal.
Russo into leg, gets goal side, cut back is on, leg just cuts without the ball. Now it plays out towards White, good block. Opportunity that for Leeds, a big one as well. As Parrish clears, it'll be out of play for a throw. And that's a really big opportunity. Shauna Leg just perhaps going without the ball first time around. I mean, she's a centre half by trade. She gets forward, looks for the cutback, just maybe misjudges the run, and then once that pass was played, Chorley had it covered. Yeah,
there were two players. I think Ellie White, she looked like she could have passed her a little bit sooner, but she just hesitated. And I think it just allowed the defence just to get back into position.
Maybe touch on Worthington, but it's effective enough to go to Newhouse. Well worked from Darcy Green into Russo. Just had to flick it in, and she has done so. Too much spin on that ball. Darcy Green will go and recover, and just the effort the two sisters put in. Everyone else out there, there's been a real desire today, Bride, that when a mistake's happened, Leeds then just go into overdrive to make amends, and everyone's had the same attitude. Same again from White. Yes, she misplaced the touch. The pressure wins them a throw.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the work rate and ethic today. You know, we've not sulked if we've, you know, given the ball away or our teammates made a mistake. We've just worked really hard to get the ball back, and I think, you know, that contributed definitely to the first 2 goals that we scored. But yeah, so really, really impressive today. There's been times where we've not played the best football, but neither have they. But again, it's the all-important 3 points that will hopefully make the difference.
Yeah, Woodruff backing in, just kicks it out of play for a throw-in, just doesn't have enough space to manoeuvre into. For safety there, Darcy Green just felt there was no option to. I mean, she could have let that run, but if she doesn't, it doesn't work out. There's then people in behind her. You know, she's then out of position. And I think Sam Wood's team, certainly from left to right, it's harder at the Bannister Prentice Stadium when the wind's against you. She went for safety first, as has Turner. When you've got a 2-goal lead, you can afford to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Contact, Dobson goes to ground, but she'll be able to get to her feet slowly. Smith clears, then appeals for Leeds to be offside, but it was Woodruff's touch backwards. Parrish turning. It's a scooped pass, headed away by Darcy Green. It will sit up for Worthington, who's dragged it wide. Doesn't get the connection right, thankfully for Leeds. 63.5 gone, 3-1, but there's less of a foothold in the game for Leeds, Bridie. There's less control. I guess we expected that, but it's a case of trying to win that arm wrestle to try and get as much of it back.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to ride the wave a bit. There's going to be times in a game where the opposition has a little bit more of the ball than yourselves, and it's just about staying organised and being focused, really. And you know, if and when they get an opportunity, hopefully the defence, you know, will do the job, and Carrie Simpson will do a job. Gunn
gets away from trouble, rolls it out to the wing where Stanhope is occupying. Leg trying to stop her from making her way into the box. The ball will come in, never under real control. Turner had a swipe at it. It's gone behind for a corner kick.
The next goal is crucial, isn't it? If they get another one back and make it 3-2, makes it a bit harder for us there. So it'd be nice for us to get a fourth goal just to really put the game to bed.
Binks' delivery again near post. White with a commanding clearance. Really awkward for Searson. Equally as so for Russo. Hughes now with the clearance. He'll bounce awkwardly. Woodruff might be able to use that to her advantage. She does. Smith likewise, and now a touch going Unsworth's way. We'll try and clear out wide, and Scrappy Nature bounces off the feet of Newsom and knows how, should I say, and it's out of play. 66 minutes gone. Referee having a glance at the touchline. There's a change coming for Leeds. Danby is ready to go. She will replace Jess Russo. So Jess, Woodruff off up front. And Danby off into midfield.
Yeah, Jess had a good first half, some really good link-up play, little 1-2s, had a couple of chances, but yeah, I think she seemed to be looking a little bit tired, and I think she had a couple of niggles as well, went down for a couple of fouls as well, so I think it was the right time to bring her off, and yeah, let's hope Danby can make a big impact today.
Smith chasing down. Look, a lost cause at first, and again it's that effort again. Danby lets it go past, and Hughes picks it up. Work again from Hughes into the feet of White, who rolls it to Smith. Ambitious 1-2 needed there because Unsworth was tracking all the time. Cleared away by Legg, who's now got to get back. Stanhope's got the better of her. It's been a good battle this second half. Turner and Dobson, centre half. Dobson getting the toe to the ball. This time Worthington just tried to poke it. She's a bit closer than last time. She's at full stretch, just trying to steer it, Bridie. But it's the effect we expected. Second half, the advantage is Chorley's favour, and they're turning up the heat.
Yeah, the game's just changed a little bit, hasn't it? I was wondering if Sam Wood was maybe going to bring on, Shan for some fresh legs up front, and just kind of, if we can hit the ball into the channels and just get some willing runners onto that. I know, Shan will be chomping at the bit to get on the pitch as well. But yeah, I think, with Dan being there, a bit of experience just to hopefully calm it down. But we just need to be a little bit careful with our passes. It's been a little bit sloppy the past 10 minutes.
Newhouse's ball inside. Leeds can't clear. You'll fall to Smith, who might get the chance to put her foot on the ball. She will now. She'll clear with a bit more conviction. And Woodruff to chase it down. Flicked away at the back from Cook, and then the ball down the line from Parrish, and it is out of play for a Leeds throw.
It's nice to actually see Paige Williams on the bench as well for the first team. Obviously she suffered a nasty injury away at York, did her ACL, had an operation, so she's been getting some minutes with the 23, so she's been training well with the first team, so it's nice that she's back with the team where she belongs, and I'm sure she'll be excited at the prospect of potentially getting on and maybe getting a few minutes here.
Yeah, down the line leg with the throw-in. Woodruff gets her head to it, cleared away powerfully by Chorley. His fight in midfield is non-stop though. Back in as Kerry Simpson gets her hands on the ball. Smith to chase this down. Parrish looking over her shoulder, gets it away well. Didn't seem to be any contact there, so Leeds get the throw in.
Middlesbrough are now 5-0 up against Doncaster. Bells.
So second place team doing the business. Leeds can't catch them. They were 10 behind with 6 to play for at kick-off. They can catch Chorley though. So the top 3 place is in Leeds' grasp if they can get results going their way. Have to win this one though, as Danby gets hold of possession, tries to play the pass and gets her bearings all wrong when looking for Darcy Green. Big contact there, Turner, and the referee will stop the game because Saffron Newhouse has certainly felt the full force of that. Turner's clearance was powerful enough, and huge deflection straight into the face of the forward. So referee rightly stops the game. We get a break in play, 20 minutes left. Perhaps a chance for Leeds to get the tactics reiterated, Bridie. You know, you get a breather, you can talk amongst yourselves. It's these stages of the game where often you get the fine margins to try and see yourself over the line.
Yeah, I think, games like this, when I was playing, and in particular when I was captain, I'd be getting the girls in now saying, look girls, we've lost a bit of a foothold on this game. Overall, we've been the better team, we've had the better chances. Player for player, we've shown that we're better than them today. So, let's just calm down on the ball, let's string some passes together. They can't score while ever we've got the ball, it's as simple as that. So let's just keep the ball and let's just play football how we know we can, because when you've got the likes of Ellie White in your team and the Green sisters, we're unstoppable. We showed in the first half they just couldn't handle the press. And then you've got Alice Hughes in there who goes about business nice and quietly, just cutting up the play. Catherine Smith's had a really good game. Obviously she's on a hat-trick now. So, yeah, I mean, this team have definitely got the beating on them today. It's a very, very good result if we can hold out for the 3 points. But like I said, I think the next goal is crucial. But there's still a long way to go in this game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, a chance then for us to reassess. Of course, Leeds are 3-1 to the good. And that is thanks to a brace from Smith, a goal from Legg, and this was the first. Smith smothering the first. Second, they're claiming was a hand, but the goalkeeper made a big mistake in Finch and looked skywards, looking for anyone to try and swallow her up. And when the goalkeeper makes an error like that, only one thing normally naturally should happen. Smith punished them. The second, a similar situation where it was such a good delivery and Legg pouncing at the near post before Russo and Smith worked a lovely 1-2 combination to play the ball in, and Smith finishing this time with her right foot. So she's on a hat-trick still, the Leeds number 10. Whether or not she will get that opportunity remains to be seen, because Stanhope's running through. Simpson has to be alert. Kerry Simpson's had one of those games where the last few weeks, consistent enough as well, making some interceptions, coming off a line, knowing when to punch. And when you're playing at this end of the pitch compared to the other, you have to be on your guard a lot more. And if she wasn't on her guard, I think Stanhope's got a free shot.
Definitely. I mean, I used to play with Carrie at Bradford City as well as Leeds. It was really great that she came to Leeds. We could link back up again. But no, having a goalkeeper just to kind of, pull out some stops when really she has no right to at times, really saves you. And, defensively, you've all got to have an understanding if Carrie kind of messes up from a corner, she expects the centre halves to be there covering her and vice versa. So, she's a fantastic keeper. Obviously, she's had a couple of injuries this year as well, which has hampered her a little bit. But no, it looks like she's almost back to her best now.
The ball forward looking for Drew Green, who's gone out to the flank. Dobson giving up on that. Newhouse wasn't at first, but should do, and now it's behind for a goal kick. Substitution coming for Chorley, sees number 22 enter the game is Sophie Coward. And looked like it was Bink that was making way. It's up to Smith, who goes early towards Drew Green, wrestling as best she can to dispossess Searson. Poked away by the Chorley defender, 3-1 up. Leeds looking to just cruise their way to victory. No other issues in the second half of the Stanhope's effort. Into Woodruff, turn the defender well. Woodruff, oh, what a finish! Wow. And Amy Woodruff adds to her tally for the season. There won't be many better than that. Great turn, such a strong player, but then the finish, there's no doubt about it. No keeper stopping it. It's 4-1 to Leeds United women against Chorley with 15 left.
That is a typical Amy Woodruff goal, using her body, turning the defender, couple of touches to set herself, and then bang, top corner. Like you say, Tom, no keeper stopping that, and especially not the one in the Chorley net today, but absolutely fantastic. I think that's game over now. It's going to be a very, very difficult task for them to get. I mean, even if they get a consolation goal now, that's just exactly what it'll be. But no, I think thoroughly deserved. Obviously, first half she was in a bit of a deeper role, so didn't really get many opportunities at goal. But yeah, what a fantastic goal that was. Now that is the pick of the bunch, I'd say. That's going to take some beating.
Yeah, what an effort. Dobson watching this one just as late as she could to make a decision. And again, Darcy Green racing across just to deny a corner, make it only a throw-in. It helps Leeds' cause, you'd feel.
I could watch Amy Woodruff's goal back time and time again. It's one of those where as soon as you hit it, she could feel it probably going in the back of the net.
Yeah, and I probably think once she hits it, the keeper knows she's not getting to it either. It's as emphatic as you're going to get from the right foot of Amy Woodruff out towards Newhouse, looking for a second Chorley. Newhouse's delivery is Paul. She had 4 red shirts in the box, so Chorley are still fighting for this. Gary Simpson very happy to see that ball fly over the top of her crossbar and behind for a goal kick. Big statement win this as well. You know, Leeds will be frustrated, as you say. It often is at this level that how it's been recent years with only one team going up. 3 defeats is pretty much a cut-off when, you know, but to lose 3 in a row after Christmas, it's, you know, emotionally, mentally for Leeds, that's such a hard thing to come back from. But, you know, to have today, to try and drag yourself to within 2 points of Chorley, to try and come top 3, top 4, and end the season on a high is it's all easier said than done. But to execute it like they have has been very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, you're not just playing for a Sunday League pub team. You know, you're playing for Leeds United, and you know the fans and the club don't accept anything less than you to work hard and put your all in. And you know that's what these girls are doing every week. And you know, yes, you know there's an element of frustration when you know you're not really playing for anything as such, but you want to just get as high up the leagues as possible. And you know, results. It's a funny league. It's like the men's championship. You know, any team can beat any team on the day. But like you say, a big statement win to be putting 4 past Chorley. They don't concede loads of goals. Just
break off because Woodruff's skill and then the strength. She gets the cross in. Won't fall for Danby for a shot, but she will keep it alive to Darcy Green, who will go on a run of her own. Darcy Green, inspired by Woodruff, gets the keeper Molly Finch racing across her goal. But all of that came from a ball down the line to Amy Woodruff. You thought it was all over. She digs in, wins the battle, puts a cross in, and nearly something came from it, as Chorley are trying to do the same here with a long ball forward into Coward, who will try and race to the goal line. Double deflection. It will be a Leeds goal kick. And Coward is trying to explain her side of the story, but the officials have been pretty decisive all day today, whether it be good or bad for Leeds.
I think they've been all right overall, but just want to compliment Kath Smith. I think her defensive work today has been really good. She seems to have been in the right place at the right times and, you know, cleared her lines well when she's needed to and just been supporting that defence. And then you just saw there it was an important block there, and that could have easily gone out for a corner, but you know, got a little bit of luck there, I suppose. But yeah, I think she's been really impressive today, and obviously the 2 goals have been very helpful, let's say, to Leeds' cause today.
Yeah, it certainly has. As on ball forward would have been awkward for Simpson, but she managed to catch it on the full. And again, she's made what could have been an awkward situation look pretty simple. Clearance away by Worthington towards Gunn, who's trying to cause a problem or two from the high balls. White will try and intercept. Out towards Smith, and Smith will try and keep it alive, and she will do so. Wins a throw. And Leeds just taking a bit of a sting out the game, Brad. You can do it 4-1 up. There's no rushing from Shauna Legg, from Cass Smith. It's a case of walking pace now, and Chorley naturally will be, I guess, getting frustrated, but more accepting that with the scoreline where it is, with 10 minutes left, this is what Leeds will do.
It's about seeing the game out, isn't it? But these girls won't want to stop at 4-1. You know, they'll want to go for another goal. And, you know, I'm remembering just before half-time we had a corner, and I thought, oh, it's literally just hit 45 minutes. The girls will take the time in the corner. But Ellie White and Amy took the corner really quick.
Yeah, delivery in from Smith, looking for White, just tried to flick it towards goal. Saw it late over the head of Amy Woodruff, who's just limping ever so slightly, the forward. And one ball downfield, and again you can just see the zest off the surface. Kerry Simpson, bit of juggling practice at the last second. Had it covered, but I mean, that's a keeper kicking it from just the edge of the box to the other goalkeeper. It happens every single week. It just shows you the firmness of the pitch. And Ellie White wasn't too far away from turning that goalwards with success. I mean, she forced a save, but it could have been a little bit better for her. Yeah,
I think she'll be wanting to add to her goal tally. She had a really, really impressive performance a couple of weeks ago, didn't she, against Stockport? I couldn't sing her praises enough. Second half's been a little bit quieter compared to the first half, but I mean, again, you're not always going to have 90 minutes of just, you know, all on top. So yeah, it's been much better from Chorley this half, but again, they've still conceded a couple of goals, haven't they? And I think they're throwing everything at this game now. It looks like they're putting all the subs on. Yeah,
so Ellie Cook is one of the subs to make way. They are sending on Derbyshire and Wade. Could be, I think it's Parish, the other one. So Parish is also off the pitch. So they have made their decisions. Looking again for Drew Green. Woodruff. Smith tries to play it forward and kind of cushion it out for a throw. Stanhope again with another throw in for Chorley into midfield for Worthington. Maybe a thought about the shot. Good work again defensively as Darcy Green goes towards Danby, who's racing forward for Leeds, looking for a way through. Gets the pass out towards Drew Green. Woodruff trying to flick it onwards. Leeds racing forward. Great support play all the time as Woodruff covers and wins Leeds a throw. But yeah, every single thing that Leeds did there was positive. And support play, everyone knows where each other is, and there's been a lot of cohesion today that certainly helped them out. Yeah, it was really good play initially by Danby just to get away from a player and find a pass, and then
Again, really good work down that left-hand side, but good defending by the Chorley number 2, Hannah Derbyshire.
Leeds get the call for a set piece. Ellie White's gone across to take it. Dangerous ball in. Chorley get the first contact. Out it goes to Dobson. Awkward pass back towards White, who's able to keep it alive. Dobson picks up the pieces. Not the worst idea to try and get White back. And White, all she's done is just to try and turn it inside. It's the most unorthodox 1-2 you'll see all season long, but it's worked. As has that turn from Drew Green, who's got away from her marker, fires it in, keeper gets her hands behind it. Hughes was lurking, but again, the support play. The second attempt, winning the second balls today for Leeds has been so important. They've not lost a single duel, really, and if they have ever lost to 50-50, there's been somebody else in support. There's a free kick there going Leeds' way. I think effort-wise, it's been right up there for the performance of the season.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like we've not mentioned. I mean, the girls always work hard, you know, no doubt about that. But in terms of that kind of commitment and drive and passion to just get the ball back as quick as you possibly can, it's really, really shone out today. And the balls in the box. I mean, you know, we mentioned in the first half about the goalkeeper being a little bit shaken. She's obviously lost a bit of confidence, and it was a great ball in the box. And I think had she have, you know, just slipped up then, I think Alex would have been in to tap in for the 5th goal. But another opportunity now in the last few minutes to maybe add to the scoreline.
Yeah, Ellie White delivers to the far post, flicked away on the edge of the 6-yard box by a Chorley header. Danby racing back, Turner just pokes it away from any trouble. Chorley, they were looking for a run on the front foot. There will be another change here. Shahan Jubal-Keating, who got a brace the last time these two teams played, will come on, and she'll replace Ellie White, who again has had another big effort. It is a player that perhaps is for next season, Ellie White, because you know she got that injury that pretty much curtailed her entire campaign. But you can see the quality she's brought to the party, the effort she provides, and let's hope that next season she gets that full rub of the green without any fitness woes.
Yeah, the last couple of games in particular, when she started the game, she's made a real impact and arguably been one of the best players on the team. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing her next year. And, yeah, she's a fantastic signing for us. But, yeah, nice to see Shan coming on for the last few minutes. And, again, you know, it's about making a difference, making an impact. You know, what can you do in 3 or 4 minutes? What can you say to Simon Wood to say, I want to be starting next week?
Smith will try and clear, doesn't get the power on the ball. Heavy touch in midfield, Leg will hook it clear. Out for a play, for a throw-in for Chorley, and they put plenty of power on that, looking for the run of Worthington. Turner, double deflection, very powerful, sort of double team there really, and the referee gives her a free kick immediately. Hopefully she's okay.
It's just a bit of frustration showing for Chorley there, but she'll take her time, take a couple of minutes before she gets back up and just run the clock down. I think they've realised now they're not going to get anything out of this game. Yellow card?
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was powerful. Yellow card worthy, perhaps not, but maybe with the... felt there was 2 players doing the same thing at the same time. Maybe he's thought it's a bit over the top. So, a couple of minutes left we go. Which maybe adds to Chorley's afternoon where they're frustrated as the substitution gets the ball forward. That's Ritchie looking for fellow sub Gunn. Leeds appealing for offside as Stanhope gets to it. And she's just been unable to keep her feet. And if anything sums up Chorley's afternoon, that would be it.
Yeah, I mean, she had a little bit of time to kind of get the ball under before she tried to cross it in or anything, but she seemed to get mixed up with her own feet there. So she'll be disappointed with that because, again, you know, they're in a decentish area. She's in the 18-yard box, but she can't do anything with it.
Simpson Nearly picks out Hughes. Nobody knows for just where that ball is in that midfield. Now Leg can just watch that ball go. About to approach stoppage time. Is there a player, Bryder, that would win your player of the match this afternoon?
I think a few of the girls have played really well today, to be honest, but I think, you know, Kath Smith's obviously got a couple of really good goals today, although the first one was a little bit of a fluke. She won't thank me for saying that. I think Drew Green on the right-hand side in the first half, I was just excited every time she got the ball, and, you know, in the second half she's done well, so I think for me it would be Drew Green.
Big shout as Hughes goes back to Simpson. Awkward all the way across. Stanhope tried to curl it in and make life a little bit more exciting for Chorley.
I think what's been positive is I feel like we've barely mentioned our defenders' names all afternoon, which can only be a positive thing. I think the occasions when they have been sprung into action, you know, Lucy Turner, Shauna, Ellie Dobson, I think, you know, they've done the jobs and they've done it well. So I think, you know, defensively wise, we've been pretty solid today.
Yeah, so Paige Williams gets the boots checked. Big hug for Kath Smith. And she will get just a couple of minutes. And again, a player coming back from an ACL injury. And one perhaps for next season where she'll have some big goals to try and pick out for this team. Chasing it down was sub Coward, and straight out of play for a goal kick.
In fact, can I have a joint player of the match? Because I
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
like
sure award.
I can do that one,
Sure
can I?
award,
Because
yeah.
I just
I mean,
think
won't go that far, but yeah.
I just think Amy Woodruff, with that wonder goal, I think deserves a special mention, if anything.
Yeah, Guns tried to test the palms of Simpson, who's had everything covered pretty much from distance. Carrie Simpson. So yeah, back to Amy Woodruff.
Just fantastic goal, wasn't it? And like I said, I could watch it time and time again, and I'm sure she could as well. I think that should definitely be up there with one of the goals of the season, but I think she's scored a few of them this season, so she'd be going up against herself probably. But yeah, I think it definitely deserves mention. But just her all-round play in general, I think she works so hard, she uses her body so well, she's so unselfish as well. So it's nice that she gets the plaudits for the great goals on top of that.
Hughes nips in, just runs a bit too far in front of Woodruff. Those legs have done enough running to start the game a bit fresher. Should have probably got to that. Leg nips in, Stanhope gets towards her, and it's flicked away at the defence at the back for Chorley. I'm sure Williams will want this to be quickened up a little bit, because, you know, she'll want a touch of the ball back out there for the team. Jumps up to win the header, concedes a throw. There is Williams, tries to play in Jibril Keating. Danby will get to the ball, nearly got goal side. Worthington scrapping away with the Leeds number 7. The Chorley midfielder comes out on top. Keating wins a throw. Leeds will hope to maybe create one final chance from this. Fall to Woodruff, but there is the whistle. Leeds United won out. Very convincing winners at the Barnes Apprentice Stadium, beating a team 5 points higher than in the standings to give them every chance of leapfrogging Chorley before the season comes to a close. But Smith's brace had a sign of a leg tap in, and then Woodruff's rocket to wrap up the victory. And that is that. So 4-1 on the day. Another good performance from the team at home. Fingers crossed for next season for a promotion push. But that's all from our coverage. for the league campaign for the women's team this season. And thank you for joining us. Have a lovely afternoon.
Have a safe journey home. Thank you very much. United, number 10, Ralph Smith. Goes from Leeds United, number 2, Chorley. Goes for Leeds. The second of again, number 10, Ralph Smith. Goal scorer for